Hey guys, Jerry from Showtime Audio. So we're wrapping up Gary's Bronco project. So this thing turned out amazing. It sounds incredible. Again, we've done a bunch of new things that we hadn't done before with the three-ways in the dash, with the bigger pods in the back, using different combination of amplifiers and speakers. I mean, it sounds amazing. So this truck is a gorgeous truck, but it had a bass audio system. So the low end system, it's basically a radio and 4 speaker wires. It had 6 speakers, but it's 4 speaker wires. So 2 sets run the dash and the kicks, 2 sets run the rear pods, and they don't run them well at all. So I just wanted to walk you through it and show you what we did. So one of the challenges we had with this truck is he has this awesome slide out floor. So it is really, really cool. You know, it basically raises the floor and gives you this removable tray. Now, the only thing is, obviously that lives typically where our enclosure lives. So what we had to do is mount the enclosure in a way that it clears the subfloor, but also allows the tailgate to close. So you close this, you can see it misses by probably about 1/2 inch. So, and it also misses the box because of the way it's shaped and the way the enclosure is shaped. No issues. It fits, shuts, everything works great. As far as all the equipment goes, we have the Helix V12 in here, as well as the SR 501. They both live in a custom panel mounted behind the plastic. So other than the sub enclosure, you can't tell this vehicle has had anything done to it. The sub enclosure obviously gives it away, but other than that, everything else looks basically stock. So we also added these 3D printed pods. So these things are actually amazing. We talked a little bit about them. They're ribbed on the inside. So in the 3D printing process, they print like a rib or a structure on the inside. So they're much more solid. And then we also do our fiber fill, which basically tricks the speaker into thinking that it's in the bigger enclosure, because unfortunately those pods are kind of little. So these speakers are meant to work in, like, let's say a door, or which is a pretty big space. So when we have them in these pods, the performance does suffer a little bit. By adding that denim fill, it makes the speaker think it's in a bigger enclosure and sounds better. All right, and also aesthetically, the pods match the finish. So the finish of the enclosure matches obviously the finish of the rear pods. So the other nice thing is as you can see, it flushes the speaker and you've got the whole grille for the driver. The reason that's also useful is because you can get more sound out of the speaker because it is playing through its grille into the cabin. With any of the other pods that are out there, you're playing through a grille it's kind of like a square, but it's obviously much smaller than the actual opening for the speaker. So you're kind of restricting it a little bit. By doing these pods, it allows you to get the full sound out of that speaker, you know, to get all the sound that you're paying for, right? These pods are bolt-in, so they use original hardware, and then we put connectors on them like you've seen us for all our other videos, so that everything in here is 100% reversible. So another thing, again, on this one, we ended up going with 3-way fronts. So the client wanted a 3-way active front end, so that we did with the Flax 3-way. So that's a tweeter, the middler, and then a mid-bass driver. So we went with these pods. Check this out. Isn't that awesome? So this is a 3D printed pod. It accepts a 3-inch and then the Focal tweeters. But the super cool thing about it is, so again, a lot of this is lasered and 3D printed. So it's kind of a little bit of both. But the cool thing about this is there's magnets embedded. So all you do is, and that thing is, I mean, it looks like if it came with the car. And then as far as the kick panel, we build our brackets and the plugs and our adapters. And as always, we gasket them. We deaden around the speaker and behind the speaker, and everything is on connectors. So these pods right here is a perfect example. We have these XT connectors, which we'll show you, but They're basically little connectors that allow us, if we ever have to, we can unplug the tweeter and unplug the middler. We have these connectors that allow us to unplug the speakers. So if we need to remove the pod, you literally pull the pod, you unplug each of the connectors, and then when you're done, you can plug them right back in, bolt them back in, and snap the grill on, you're done. And if you watched any of our other Bronco videos, you know that our favorite spot for the bass knob is right here, right? So the nice thing about it being here is when you're driving around, you can literally just reach down and turn it up or down right from the column. No reaching down here, no ugly knob just screwed or stuck to your dash. We want it to be integrated. We want it to look as if it could have came with the vehicle. All right. So the client also had these KC lights. So these are really cool. So if you know anything about the old KC lights, is that they were these big honking things and they had these cool yellow covers. And so this is kind of a throwback, except these are modern, right? So they have LEDs. They come with the brackets and their own connectors. And we wired them to the factory aux switches. We'll show you that. These are the factory aux switches. So we opted to go with switch number 1. The nice thing about this is built in with the car and it comes wired and everything. So all you do is you turn the key on, flip the switch, and bam, you got lights. One of the other really cool things about this particular Bronco is that it is a limited edition. So it is a 1966 edition. So they only made 1,966 of these. So it's really, really cool. It's a limited edition. It's got that old school 60s Bronco flavor to it, you know, that like design with the white and the like steely style wheels. It's just a really, really cool color combo. So this is our power lines. We have two power lines, one for the Helix DSP amplifier and one for the Audison SR amplifier. So basically one is for the highs and one is for the bass. So they're two independent. A lot of times people run one wire and add a distribution block. I'm not a fan of that. I typically like to do what's called home runs. Basically, like we're running from the amplifier all the way to the front. Now, it's a little bit more costly because obviously now you have two runs of wire, 2 circuit breakers where you could have 1 run of wire and like a simple fuse block. But in order to do our circuit breaker deal, they need to be full runs. So we're protecting each wire individually. But the other benefit to this is if the bass amp goes off, I don't have to take the car apart to check the power. If it's a distribution block and it's behind the panel, you have to take the car apart to check the fuse holder. But in this case, I can check it here. And if I need to disconnect one of the amplifiers to see if it's a problem or not, I can disconnect 1 amp at a time. So if you can see, we build this composite plate and the circuit breakers are mounted to the plate. And then you have the button here. So there's 1, 2. And so you can engage or disengage either one or both. So again, if the car ever goes to the dealer and the dealer says, hey, your amplifiers are killing the battery, instead of having to have a fuse holder up here and fuse holders in the back and having to unhook everything, press 2 buttons, system is completely disconnected from the vehicle. Now what's the issue? So because we're completely separated from the vehicle as far as power goes. The other cool thing is if you can see the way he runs the wire. So this is the factory terminals. See how they're bent at this like almost 90-degree angle? So what Hondo does is he takes the 2 4 gauges, puts them in a terminal, and then bends the ring terminal to mimic the original terminal. So now it'll bolt in. The other benefit to that is the cover will close as if it was factory. Normally, these ring terminals are straight, and so the wire sticks straight out. So you would have to notch the cover in order for this, or cut a square out for it to fit. But by bending the terminal, follows the factory wiring and looks as if it came with the car. Again, it's a really small, minor detail, but those little details are what make the difference between it looking as if it came with the car or as if we added it, right? Just like the braiding, just like the mounts, you know, all of that ties into the whole making it look as if it could have came with the car. So let's say the client's having an issue. I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen, But let's say that an amp blows up, or an amp is smoking, or the amps are doing something weird, making some crazy noise, or doing something that's just out of the ordinary, and you wanted to know if it's the amps or something else. You can literally come up here, pop the 2 breakers. It will completely eliminate power from the amplifiers. So you don't need tools or anything. Like if something was on fire, the last thing I want to do is go hunt down some tools. Literally pop the hood, press the button, disconnect it, right? So it's kind of like a safety feature. The other reason it's useful is like if the wire did get pinched. So let's say it got pinched in an accident, or let's say, and now it's literally red hot, you could literally unhook it, or eventually it will pop the breaker. Again, it's another safety feature. Breakers are basically fuses. It's in essence like a fuse. It's like a circuit breaker at your house. If you trip a circuit at your house, it pops the breaker. You got to go downstairs and flip the breaker back on, or wherever your fuse box is. Similar, we take the similar aspect in the car. Again, it's a little bit more money because the components are a little bit more, but for us, the serviceability and the functionality outweigh the price.
Visit our website at showtimeaudiochicago.com.